Hello, my name is Chris Englehart. This is just another day in the life of the abused, the tormented, the lost, the non-found, the person who didn't deserve a family, didn't deserve a life, didn't deserve anything that was right, didn't deserve money, didn't deserve anything. So what I decided is that I figured I would say some things that maybe might be on my mind just a little bit. Now, I'm gonna assume that you guys probably are planning on the idea that I am basically supposed to be inebriated, um, not not drinking. I have to be completely sober because I need to be like I was when I was pinned down, or excuse me, when I consented to my 5-year-old butt sex. Um, I'm just gonna just lay down and not do a thing about this. I have to say that I have a weird suspicion that the reason that you guys joined forces, and all of a sudden my dad's all of a sudden joined forces, like he was supposedly hated you guys, but now it's about the money. You guys are splitting it a few different ways, I'm sure. Apparently, like, I don't get anything, and I'm sure that I don't know if Grandpa had anything. I don't really care. I never really cared for Grandpa to die. Actually, I never really cared for Grandma to die. I didn't really care for anybody to die. In fact, I didn't care for the bird next door to die. I didn't care for a mouse to die. I didn't care for anything to die. The only thing I cared for to die maybe is a spider because it scared me. You know. I'm pretty sure, like, Dad, even if I really wanted like a death, like, why would I want Grandpa to die, like, when I'm not getting an inheritance? Like, if he's gonna, that's like kind of saying, like, hey, I want him to die for because I want a dead body, because I'm like so awesome with dead bodies. Like, I love dead bodies. I love dead animals. I love dead everything. So yeah, Grandpa dies, so I don't get any money, and then I have to, like with my family, I have to touch your dead body. So I'm kind of like hoping that they stay alive for a while. But I don't know, you be the judge. But I'm going to run a little scenario by the family. And I'm going to probably say that a few of you might understand what I'm talking about. You might understand a little bit more than maybe you're wondering why I should understand. When I bring up Nathan and I bring up his college fund, I know that Nathan, his death was for something. It was for probably the children, probably children that maybe were abused, maybe abandoned, neglected, maybe not paid attention to. Maybe had a lot of pressure. Maybe put too much pressure on himself. Maybe had a lot of pressure from a family. Maybe thought that just being a garbage man was just good enough, and that really didn't matter what else he had. When he played that guitar in his hand, I was mesmerized. When he sang, I told my friends he sang like Kurt Cobain. He was one of the best musicians I have ever seen. And I like music. Because I listen to the Dead. I listen to all that good stuff. I made sure that I knew that Nathan knew that I loved him. That even though I didn't really know him, I knew who he was, and I knew that he wasn't bad. But I knew that he knew that I would never judge him. That I would never put a bar on him, that he had to be something better than or less than. He could just be him. He could be Nathan. He could have whatever job he wanted if he even wanted a job. He didn't need a job. Life isn't about a job. You can have as many jobs as you want, all the money, and some few cars, and live in a shitty little town. But when you ain't got a soul, and you're gonna let a kid get raped in his butthole, and then you're not gonna do a thing about it, and his sister gets raped, but hers was missionary. Remember this: I can't get inheritance, even though I did anal. I'm pretty sure, I don't know, unless my sister admits to the anal, then I'm pretty sure I should be in the lead, right? Like, is there any, like, porno stars that would agree with me? Like, isn't there, like, a premium for anal? And not only do I not get anything for it, I don't even get an inheritance. So my sister, she gets paid for hers, and I don't even get anything. I don't even get anything if something happens. But yet I'm the one who wants Grandpa dead. I wanted Grandpa dead from the time I was born. I don't even know. I mean, my dad had my retirement figured out. He's like, man, you gotta get that pedophile shit so you can have that sympathy later in life. He said, suck a pedophile's dick and you have sympathy later in life. That's what you're gonna do. I said, well, no. I'll just pretend like it's not happening. You know, just like kind of like everything else in the family. So we're gonna go here. Michelle getting raped. Hey, Dad, do you remember there was a court date? Remember a date where I had to go to jail? You remember that there's a chance that I might have known of this rape and that there's a chance that I can make things crazy for you? That I might be able to make things crazy for the entire family, and make them think like, what the heck is he talking about? Well, what am I talking about? Well, the state's attorney sided with me and dropped my simple assault to a disorderly conduct because the guy who supposedly raped my sister, now this is a different guy than the original guy that we've spoke about, and I was sent to beat the crap out of this guy. Well, I sent myself because that's just what I do. I have my sister's backs. I've always have. I had my family's, but I had my family's back. I don't have a family no more, and I don't need one because that ain't no family. I got a family right here. I have one person only. That's all I need. I don't need one person. I need one person to voice my voice. I need someone to tell my story and tell everybody what she's seen, what she knows. That I wasn't a waste. That I wasn't to be just kicked to the side because I have a voice, because I say something that you don't like, because I'm smart, I'm charismatic, and I'm something better than you will ever be. But I just find it hard to believe that I should just stay stagnant and just do nothing. I don't have rights. I can't file a report. I can't talk about it. I can't put in a public record that we're basically flat out ignoring the fact that there's another rape that we just, they kind of investigated, but there's no cooperation from, well, of course, my mom and my sister. No cooperation, of course. But then, of course, I'm the bad guy. And I think there's a little bit of a secret in the family, too. That I think there's more to a little bit of Nathan's story than maybe that's being told. That maybe you guys are sicker than I ever knew. What do you think that it is coincidence that like I happen to have like one of the better relationships? Like I had a connection with Nathan that was way deeper than anybody ever knew. That I carried around his picture and his obituary in my wallet for years until they disintegrated. I looked at his obituary all the time. I knew there was something special. I knew that there was a purpose and there was a reason that when I touched him that day in that casket, that there was some sort of difference in me. That I would always be there for someone when they needed me. I was always there for every friend that was ever there. If they needed a place to live, they always knew they could come with me. If they needed money, they knew they could ask me. If you needed to borrow money, you knew you could ask me. If you needed your mortgage paid, if you had kids, if you were a good friend of mine, you got money from me, I'm most likely in some way, shape, or form or fashion. I either gave you money or gave you my time. There was a reason that I did more for my friends than I did my family, and I didn't know why. I was wondering why. I kept helping people and I didn't want to help my dad. My dad's like, you don't help me, and now I know why. Naturally, I knew that he didn't have my back. That someday he would let me down, and then this would be the fallout, and that I would have to defend myself in the faces of pure evil, and be completely ridiculed when I'm just gonna be called crazy, right? Okay, sounds familiar, don't it? Okay, so I can tie a lot of knots here, but I'm just gonna say this. I know when Nathan died, there was a purpose, and I knew it wasn't, a college fund for kids at the church, at a crooked church. Pastor Salem in the whatever Baptist Bible, it's on the TV, like any church on TV, anybody on TV making money, profiting off of, the word of God. Drive around in new vehicles, huh? Off the what? The coattails of some basic, like, I'm sorry, but my God knows that's not what's really real. And them giving their opinion of what life should be is not really real in real life. It's not real. It's not real. So nice try. And trying every cousin, every uncle and aunt just disowning me on Facebook. Well, that's funny, but you're gonna not really think that's too funny here soon. And Dad, and with Nathan, my dad made it seem like Nathan was the greatest thing to man. He was like my best friend, and he died because of me. And I'm like, what the hell? My dad was mad. My dad knew, like, died because what are we talking about here? I'm like, he died. Well, because he wanted to be like his Uncle Brad. I'm like, who wanted to be like you? Nathan didn't want. I was like, Nathan would take a lot of steps backwards to be like you. I was like, he was younger, but man, he was a lot better person. I was like, I don't think I would say that he wanted to be like you, more like you wanted to be like him. But I would like to know how my uncle just shows up late at Grandma and Grandpa's after we've gotten to the crash site and it's all cleared out, like no debris, there's nothing. And I'm almost wondering if my dad went there to clear away any other debris, or I'm wondering why was supposedly Mark at the hospital and then got blood on him, right? Or you're gonna say this: he drove all the way up to that country spot, and they let him hold Nathan so that he could really? I don't think that's how that works. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to normal people. Then I think about it more. Well, what if he did it at the hospital? Well, they probably wouldn't have him all bloody like that, and then Mark, trying to resuscitate him. They probably have Mark out of the way. If he's dying, why would Mark have access to him like that unless they would say, okay, and then they say, well, let him in. They say, well, like they pretty much would probably clean him up as best as possible. I don't think they're gonna have it where he's gonna be just full of blood and it's like this crazy dramatic scene. And excuse me, if I'm wrong, and if that happened, go ahead and prove me wrong. Tell me that I'm wrong. I would love to hear it. Because when you somehow go after the fact and retrieve his CD deck that was my dad's, that he'd given to him for whatever reason, the most of my dad sold them, I guess, at the time. And it's weird, my dad got out of Card Stereo shortly after that. Like, he quit selling, and I know that the everything changed, but iPods didn't really come around for a little while. It was a little while after that. I mean, Nathan died in 97, I believe, wasn't it? Friday the 13th. September, my month. September's a good month. That's when the good weed is maybe getting closer and closer to being cut. But here's the deal. Why is Mark going and grabbing the deck out of this car? Why? Who in the hell tipped him off? Or why is he doing it in the first? And why? Why has he got blood on him? How? A lot of blood. I mean, this is why he's full of blood. And then I see Mark, he's not crying. I'm like, what the Okay, I'm confused here because I'm like not really crying yet because I'm like 11 and I haven't experienced really death yet. And I'm like, what the heck? Nathan can't be dead. He's 18. He just graduated high school. He's not dead, man. That's Nathan. No way. He's too cool, man. He can't die. But then I'm like, nobody's dying. And then at his wake, you got a really good song playing. You got Grateful Dead, like his favorite band, but like, I don't think he would have picked Driving That Train High on Cocaine as a song to play when he's chilling, like be looked at in a wake. I don't think he'd even want that to begin with. But to have it as Driving That Train High on Cocaine, it makes me feel like, I don't know, I'm having weird feelings, but I just don't know if I should just bring up any questions to anybody. Should I just assume that nobody can see these videos, that like when I send these off all over the world, that like nobody's gonna see them and confront you guys about the fact that like it's ironic that this guy who is trying to stop molestation and like stop bullying and in the whole 9 yards, and your guys' thought is just, well, just abandon him. We'll see if he messes up and try to get him for some sort of like criminal charge. We'll see if we can lock him up and then shut him up, and then we'll see. Go ahead and try that, because as soon as I get in there, I got backup.